Hello, guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I am here with 2019 World Champion Henry Brand. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Yeah.
How does it feel? I mean, it's a cliche question, but how does it feel?
Honestly, it was completely surreal for the longest time, and then on the plane home, I think it finally hit me. The person sitting next to me was like, "Oh, what are you in the States for?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was playing Pokemon at the tournament. He's like, how'd you go?" And I'm like, "Oh, I won." Yeah.
Well,
He's like,
yeah,
"So you're the world champion?" I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah, technically, yeah.
yeah."
Um, all right. I mean, huge congrats. I know you're the first ever Australian World Champion, so
Yep.
you put your country on the map technically.
First in Masters. We've
First
had
in
a
Masters,
couple
sure,
in seniors.
and then the VGC side. I mean, you guys dominate anyway.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your deck. You called it Perfection. And
Yep.
The deck is pretty cool. Mewtwo's pretty cool. Let's talk about it. Why some of the GXs and some of those guys in there?
All right. Well, let's start with the one that everyone will not stop asking about, Cavalier GX. So obviously everyone thought about it when you're playing Rainbow or Unit because prevents paralysis, prevents other stuff. But
Hmm.
we play it without the metal energy. So the
Yep.
whole point of it is just when you're having a bit of a slow setup, you can just go Iron Rule GX. Your opponent can't win that turn, and then next turn you're able to get enough energy to use Venom Shot, to use Magcargo, to use Reshizard, to use. You're able to find your double custom catcher.
Okay.
Um, it's just gives you a lot of just I guess more options and a little bit of wiggle room with how you're drawing. It also in the mirror match you're able to use it and prevent your opponent using Tag Purge, so that's kind of cool.
So basically, just like it's a card to kind of bring the tempo back in your favor.
Yeah, and I think when you've got a deck like this where you have so many different options, you're able to just use it, and especially because you don't really use a damaging GX attack that often, it's sort of nice to have this option.
Sure. And the Latios is pretty obvious. That's a pretty game-winning card for you.
Yeah, I think when people pick up this deck, it's important to realize that Clear Vision GX is one of the biggest reasons that Latios is in the deck, coupled with Tag Purge. So,
Okay. Talk to us a little about Let's see. I think I see a Glaceon in here.
no Glaceon
No
rules.
Glaceon. I'm stupid. That's just a Cobalion. All
Yep.
right, the Macargo. That's one thing I wanted to ask about.
All
The
right.
Macargo is
Okay.
cute. The Macargo
This
is crazy.
this will be a good one. All right. So, as everyone probably knows, myself, Joao, he's the lesser known of our group, but he's still a very good player. You know, top eight in Latam. Stefan Ivanov, and Bert Walters. Let's not confuse their names. So all four of us, tested this deck. Joao came to us with the skeleton, and the hardest decision we had to make was picking between four attackers, and they were Magcargo GX,
Okay.
Reshizard,
Okay.
um, Blaziken GX, and Blacephalon GX.
Okay.
Now, they all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses. Reshizard, its strength is its GX attack, being able to keep the energy on it, attack for 3 energy, and also having Flare Strike and Outrage, which is good. Also being a secondary attacker if you have Power Plant or etc. That's always good. But the issue with this deck is we put so much time into perfecting the probability and statistics of starting Mewtwo, or starting a good starter. And Reshizard and Espeon Deoxys have more than one retreat, so they
Yep.
suck. And so when you add another one in, the probabilities get really bad. And luckily, we have Stefan, who has a master's in probability and statistics, so he's able to do all of this maths for us. So originally, we weren't playing the Reshizard. Now, Blaziken GX, the point of that was a 3 energy attacker that can kill Aurora, it can kill Hooper GX, it can kill Blacephalon, etc. And
Mhm.
that's really good, and it discards only 2 energy.
Okay.
But that's its only use. Blacephalon GX, what's good about that is Burst is really good. So you're able to KO one tag team, Sniper, Dedenne, and Burst. That's great. You're also able to attack with it, and it can discard energy, well, lost zone energy from benched Pokemon and your active, so you can Turbo Strike, etc.
Okay.
But Magcargo is sort of, it does everything that all of those things do, but a little bit worse than them.
A little
So,
bit worse.
a little bit
Okay.
worse, but it does everything. And so the biggest thing that the others didn't do that I mean Blacephalon does it, but it got through Choice Helmet on Reshizard. And that is the biggest
Okay.
reason that we played Mad Cargo. I kept telling everyone they were a bit iffy on it. I'm like, we need a way to get through Choice Helmet. And if we do, right, Reshizard is an auto win.
Sure. Okay.
So that's
I
probably the reason. And then the reason we included the Reshizard as well is because Guardian did like just popped off on day one.
Yep.
So
I figured the Reshizard was a pretty inclusion after day one. We saw a ton of Guardian sweep the field, and that was, I guess, not the unexpected deck, but the deck that everyone had kind of arbitrarily decided was like a tier two, tier three deck. And then we saw like all these Japanese players and all these like other players just sweep through day one and be like, "Hey, dude, we played Guardian. What's up?"
Yep.
So let's look at some of the other cards. The resetting hole, I'm assuming, is for the power plant.
Yep, correct.
Pretty good card.
The resetting hole, like, it's so important. You can't play a fifth stadium over it because playing resetting hole on your bench means you can't get power plant stamped. Like, they're forced to use 2 custom catcher and take a single prize if they want the power plant to stick.
Yep.
Like, it's so good, and obviously you can treasure for it. It also has like a ton of niche uses. Like, you can discard your own giant hearth and then play another one, or you can discard your giant hearth and then your opponent can't use it. Lots of things like that. And you saw me use it in the finals for its actual attack as well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So the one radar is really cute. Who came up with that?
Oh, who else but the consistency king himself, Joao?
Okay.
So that man will take a deck and he will cut every single option. And if there is a deck in the meta that you lose to, but he doesn't respect it, he will not play counters to it.
Sure.
So originally we had 2 Dedenne, 2 Radar. And that was good, but we felt that we needed to use 2 Dedenne every single game.
Okay.
So we cut that for only kept with 1 Radar, and it's definitely better than the Treasure because the Radar, it's an extra out to Dedenne. You can bills into it for Dedenne, but also just it's an extra discard card, and Treasure not being an out to Dedenne sort of sucks. So the Radar is really, really good.
And I mean, even you already have 4 Cherish Balls, so I guess like having a fifth way to get the Dedenne just kind of ensures that you have a draw card.
Yeah, and like also the big thing about Radar is it means you don't have to use the Cherish Ball for the Dedenne. You can use it for an attacker so that you can discard it.
Okay. Talk to me about the one Fire Crystal. Did you ever feel like you were running low on energy, or did you ever have a game where you needed to stop and be like, I need to Turbo Strike because I'm going to run out of energies or run out of attackers?
Oh, 100%. So the Crystal, originally we were flip-flopping a lot. So either the Crystal would either be a ninth Fire, a Crystal. I tested a tag switch for a while, and that was really good, but it was sort of very situational. And then also an energy recycle system, which I think is actually the correct card to play.
Okay. The energy recycle system, I think I saw it in, it might have been Robin's list.
It was definitely in Burt's. I don't know
Burt's,
about Rob.
sure. I mean, I saw it in Burt's. I saw it in Burt's, and it seemed really cool. And I was like, yeah, this card seems like it would fit all sorts of purposes to get those psychics back, so you don't feel too bad about pitching them early.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously it's really good. What ended up happening was that we, about like maybe 11 p.m. the night before day 2, we swapped the Crystal to a recycle system. We're all like, this is better. And we wake up in the morning, and Joao says to me, "Oh, maybe we should play Crystal." And I'm like, "I'm way too tired. You make the decision for me. I will listen to you."
Sure. I mean,
Like,
it
I'm just
paid
not
off.
doing
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I mean, Crystal's okay. It's a stronger card than Recycle System, but it's less consistent, a bit greedier. But
Yeah. I mean, if you have it plus Welder in your hand, then it's
mm,
that's where it pays off more than the recycle
correct.
system. Yeah. So I guess I'll let you jump into your day one.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, well, you only had one day, I guess, technically.
Yeah. All right. So round 1, what did I play against? Goodness. Okay. Round 1, I played against Reshi Greens.
Okay.
So no, Blacephalon Greens.
Okay.
He did play a Reshi though. So it's Blacephalon Greens. He flipped it over. He played the Greens. I'm like, okay, this matchup is really free. So basically, they're too slow. They can't even weld like every turn. They don't have no Naganadel, so their damage cap is really fixed. And so what I did is I Turbo Striked, and then I used Naganadel to hit his bench Blacephalon for 170, and then I just used Cross Divide GX, KO both of them, and I skipped B String. It was a very straightforward game.
That is hot. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming that was 2-0, yeah?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was 2-0. So I won there 2-0. Then the next round I played against Medi Haffy. And he was playing Firebox, so same as Tord, ability Reshi. Game 1, he wins. Very close. Game 2, he opens Lone Vulpix and Welders to it. And I'm like, all right, we're good. But then he attacks with it and he flips heads, so it means that I can't attack next turn.
Oh.
And I have everything. I welded for the second time in 2 turns, and I draw no basic. So I have no basic, nothing, and I couldn't attack. I couldn't retreat, so I didn't donk him, and then he almost got the Turtonator Heatran GX donk on me, but
Oh,
he missed it,
jeez.
and then I managed to win the game later on because his deck got down to 4 cards, and I used I can't remember what the attack's called, Magcargo's GX attack, and I decked him. Yeah,
Burning Magma, it
yep,
looks
Burning
like.
Magma. There we go. I used that. I won, and then game three, uh, he opens Lone Turtonator, he passes, and I donk him.
That's incredibly
But
unfortunate.
Medi was such a lovely guy to play, so that was fine. Yeah,
I think the ability Zard matchup can be a little bit scary, but if they
yeah,
like if they but the deck also plays like 18 fire, so it's definitely a theme deck, so it can definitely break.
yeah. That's the thing. With the abilities matchup, I feel like with any of Mewtwo's matchups, his deck is so consistent and it's so fast. So if your opponent falters even a little bit, you can take it over the game.
Sure.
So
All right, round three. What'd you hit?
round three, I was on stream against Charlie Lockyer. He
Okay.
was playing Supreme Court.
don't
So
don't don't humor the name, dude.
I love the name, dude. It's excellent. So I played against Charlie. He was playing Pika Judge. Unfortunately, this deck, I will keep saying throughout the rest of the video, Mewtwo is unbelievably consistent. So he judged me, and every single time he judges me, I didn't brick.
Yeah.
Um, so it was just like that. Like one time he judged me, and this is like a high roll hand, but he judges me into 2 fire and welder. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, welder, and then game two, it was pretty. It was pretty fine. Like Maycargo just KOs Pika for 4 energy.
Yep.
There isn't too much he can do, honestly. The matchup's pretty easy. Like it all comes down to one turn where this is every Pika matchup. They'll paralyze you with Raichu, and if you hit the switch that turn, which you should most of the time, you win. If you don't, you're still sort of in the game. But yeah,
Yeah. You just can't use Latios for one turn.
yeah. Well, you get KO'd, but usually it's okay.
Yeah. All right. And I mean, everyone who hasn't watched it, go check that game out. It was a pretty quick one. Spoilers ahead. I think it was like a 25-minute
Well,
game.
it's actually interesting to see because I KO was Pika with the Magcargo's attack, and then he gets a return KO on me, and it sort of looks like from the board state you think that I have nothing on the board and that I'm in a really bad spot, but I'm actually in a really favorable spot because then I just tag purge, hit him, and if I get out of the paralysis the next turn, it's
It's
fine.
over.
But
Yeah.
you can sort of see the way the matchup flows based on that game. So
It comes down to that one crucial turn.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. And then round four.
round four, I played against another Supreme Court, Ian Robb.
Okay.
Ian Robb, yeah. So I mean, I think I 2-0'd him as well. It went very similar to how the matchup against Charlie went. I think he drew sort of poorly as well, but they judge me, which slows down their setup, and I just don't break off it, so I win.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, their deck is
Yeah,
what old school Let Loose is, with just hoping that we all brick a little bit more because there's less consistency in the format.
yeah. I will say that I absolutely piss myself every time they say let loose instead of judge. I found that so funny. He did it on stream, and you can probably find it. I just like lose it laughing because Charlie said let loose. So
I mean, yeah, I talked to them a little bit. Those guys had a game plan coming in. They were like, Pika's the strongest, quote unquote, most consistent deck, so I can keep judging my opponents, and they hopefully brick once in a while.
yeah, pretty much.
Round five, this is the decider game. Do you make cut or
This is the
not here?
decider. Yeah, so I played against Zach Kreckler.
Okay.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was playing Dark Box. Yep. Game one, I drew really poorly, really badly, and I just lose. That was pretty nasty. Game two, he also draws really poorly, and I run over him. I think I like sniped his only basic or something, and then it's just done from there. And then game three, he also drew really poorly, and I won. I mean, when I say this, like the previous game, he got one basic down, and in most other matchups, that's probably fine. But like, I can just punish it too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the third game, he just concedes. Like it was done. I mean, that's sort of how Dark Box goes. I think Mewtwo's a little bit too fast and too consistent. So
Sure. And I mean, with clear vision, you can seal off their very powerful
yeah,
GX
that too.
attacks.
That as well. And you're able to just like snipe around their things and one shot anything. So you're always in favored position. Yeah.
I'm sure it could get a little bit scary if they get a good Darkrai Prism off on you,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
but I think at the end of the day, their GX attacks are like the most powerful part of their kit, and sealing that
Mm.
is really good.
Yep.
Okay, and now you're 5-0, so Round 6 and 7. I'm assuming you just took that fat ID.
Well, I actually got round six. I was the only 5-0,
Oh yeah, I remember
so
this.
there was no one to ID with, and so I played against the other Australian, Kaiwan. I drew really poorly again in both two games. This is I think what the third or fourth game I'd drawn poorly. Game two, I was going to win, but he plays four custom catcher in one turn and resets tag purge, and so that was
Ah,
sort of insane. So I lost that one, but I was still chilling. Um, I knew that was a fine matchup, so if I hit it again, I'd be okay, and I'd probably hit someone I can ID with next round. So next round I played against Blaine Hill, Greens Reshi, sorry. Sit across from each other. I knew I got up paired. He's like, "We doing this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, boy, we in top eight of worlds." So
yeah, your tiebreakers are pretty good at this point. You started 5-0. You took an L to someone who's up to like 5-0-1 now, so it's like
yep,
you're not too worried at this point. I think I
yeah,
remember looking at it and mathematically one would miss or it was like clean.
yeah. So one would miss, and I knew it wouldn't be me, so we
Yeah,
were chilling.
and I'm pretty sure Shintaro played it out because he didn't want to be the one who missed or
Yes, yeah,
something like
that's
that.
correct.
So it became. I think at the end of the day, it was clean.
Hmm.
Yeah. So well, now you're in top eight. Give me that dirt.
All right, so I played against Kaiwan again
A
in the top eight.
rematch.
Now, this is also interesting because in the top eight of Oceania we played and I lost. And so now we're going to rematch again. The two Australians again playing. Sat down, just got to do my thing. I win game one. We both prized really poorly, but I managed to edge it out. Game two was actually really interesting. So he goes for a very greedy game plan of turn one slash turn two using tandem shock instead of using full blitz.
Okay.
So turn one, he went first. He attaches to his Raichu. He Coco Prisms to his Raichu and his Pika. Pass. Turn one, I managed to get double custom catcher and turbo strike onto his Raichu. So I bring it up, hit it for 120, and attach one energy to my benched Mewtwo. He then, his turn, he attaches, energy switches to the Raichu, Thunder Mountain, Electropower, Lightning Ride GXK on my Mewtwo. I'm like, all right. Then I go Welder, 2 energy to Mewtwo, draw 3, attach Psychic Energy, discard Naganadel, snipe his Raichu, bump his Stadium. So he has no energy on board. I've just taken 3 prizes, no Mountain, no Coco Prism, game's over. It's done from there.
Yeah, that's very seems like a very risky all-in play from Kaiwin, and
Yeah,
yeah, did not pay off.
no.
I know he
I
played
mean,
this.
yeah. In
Yeah,
theory, like, I can see maybe why you do it because maybe your opponent's deck's not as compressed. Like, it might be harder to hit the switch, but also, like, I did NA so much. If you see, like, no switcher gone, then it's pretty risky. Overall, I don't think it was the correct decision because yeah,
yeah. I
it
think you
is what it
definitely
is.
still have to full blitz and get those energy on board for a
Yeah,
scenario like this. Yeah.
correct.
Now you're in the top four. You get that trophy. You get that cheddar.
Yeah.
What do you? How you
Um.
feeling?
Oh man, I can't tell you. Like, it was just crazy. I won. I just knew, like, all right, we're good. We got this. Let's keep it going one at a time. Like I wasn't getting ahead of myself, but
Mm-hmm.
felt crazy having the trophy and yeah.
All right, top four. Run me through it.
All right. Hit Blaine this time. This time we actually play the games. Current ID top four. Uh, game one didn't draw too hot. Just I stumbled a little bit. Game two, I elect to go second. Now this might be a bit of surprise to some people. The judges all like had a bit of a weird look on their face. They're like, "Did we hear that right? Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I like to think I know what I'm talking about if I made it this far." So I'll go second. Blade had a weird look on his face, but that's fine. Um, I go second. I win the game pretty convincingly. Like, the matchup's very easy. If you go second against Green's Reshi, and providing they're not playing Channeler, I don't think there's actually a way for you to lose. Um, then game three, he catches on, and he's like, I'm like, do you want to go first or second? He's like, he's really confused now, and he picks to go second. And so the game was a little bit closer, but I managed to pull it out.
Yeah, I heard from Bladen's side, and he was like, he said he missed something really crucial game three that pretty much just sealed it for you. I don't remember what it was, but
Oh yes, he chose to. So he had power plant in hand and reset stamp, but he wasn't sure if I played reset stamp in my deck, and so he wanted to. I think it was just a misplay, but what he was telling me was that he wanted to reset stamp me now, and then power plant the next turn, but he should have done it in the one turn. It wouldn't have
Yes.
mattered. Like, I would have hit the out to the stadium anyway, but it was more correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I think definitely just do it in one fell swoop. Just go all in and try to take the game there. So now
Yeah.
you're in finals. How does it feel? You're getting in there. You've got one last game to go. Everyone's telling you that
Yeah.
the matchup's not good for you, and
Yeah. I mean, dude, I was worried. Like, I knew whatever deck won, I was sort of sketched on the matchup, but I played against Firebox early, and Medi had told me that the deck's really good, and it is. It's just, it can brick.
yes,
Like, it can brick. If you don't have a welder target, if you miss welder at any point in the game, etc., like, it can be rough. But Shintaro did manage to win, so I'm against Blacephalon, and you know, I'm like, all right, it's time to figure out what am I doing against this man's deck. Like, what am I gonna do? Blacephalon was one of the decks where, like, okay, we have eye outs to it. We're not going to overtech for it. If we see it, we see it. It's whatever. We're not going to prioritize it. And so,
sure.
um, we have a look at his list, figure it out, and I'm like, okay, I cannot go for the B string skip here. There is no way. Like, the man plays 4 welder. I'm going to be giving him giant hearth a lot of the time. Like, I can't do this. And we build this list. We tested a bit, and we're like, this is really inconsistent. Like,
Yep.
we felt that it just bricked a lot, and it wasn't necessarily that it was inconsistent. It was just a bit slow.
Hmm.
It relied on setting up the Naganadel engine. It relied on only 3 B string, and so we're like, okay, if I can just turn 1 knock his Blacephalon out, which I'll be able to do like most of the time, if I just do that, I force him to respond, and so if he doesn't hit his B strings, then he's in trouble. And just try and outpace him, and you see that it worked very well in game 2. Obviously, in game 1, he somehow had 3 B string in hand.
I do remember this turn.
Like, I knew when he cherish balled for Blacephalon instead of Dedenne, I had a hunch that he either had 2 B string in hand or he had Dedenne prized. And that was my read. I'm like, okay, I just go for this. He still needs so much to hit the knockout. Like, even if he has, like, an out. But he goes 3 B string, top deck's custom catches into, like, Dedenne. Dedenne hits Hapu. Hapu's into, like, the perfect everything to hit the Hatran. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But that's fine. I'm like, it's fine. I could just KO the Hatran. So I KO the Hatran. And then we get into this scenario that everyone knows about. And, everyone enjoys giving their opinion on.
Yep.
Now, basically, from my side, I don't want to touch on it too much. The judges have been telling Shintaro to promote a Pokemon and told him that, he'd received a couple warnings throughout the tournament. If he didn't promote in, like, when they're telling him to, it may be escalated. He didn't promote. There it is. There's nothing much more to it, honestly.
Sure.
And even in that game, we calculated he had about a 30% chance to win. So his top deck, he had to draw into Welder either off of his top deck or off of 1 Ultra Conversion, and he'd already been through about 2 to 3.
Yeah, he needed to have, from the audience we were watching, we were like, he can still win, but he needs to have, like, an insane turn here still.
Yeah, and that's what some people sort of seem to miss, but at the end of the day, game 1 was in my favor, but I definitely could have lost for sure. Like, he could have won in that turn if he drew into what he needed. Game 2, you saw it was pretty snowbally. That's what happens.
Nothing went his way.
Yeah, and I mean, that's sort of like, it's sort of to be expected with this, because if you get a knockout taken straight away and you're not able to, like, pop off some insane KO, like, it's pretty difficult for him to get enough energy and play with only 3 B string.
He needs to find the B string, and I think his deck was way more B string reliant than the other versions we've seen, even the greens or the Naganadel, like straight.
Definitely, and the thing is, he relies on the Naganadel draw engine, so he does that, which means he has 1 less Poipole to evolve into charging up. And so there's even less energy he'd get into play, which means that even if he hits the B string on that turn, KOs me, I get out of B string, and then he struggles to get enough energy to KO me next turn.
Mm-hmm. So, well, and then
and
now you're world champion.
Yeah.
I know you're probably ecstatic over the moon, but you already have an event coming up in a few days.
Yeah, what is it now? Like a week and a half?
Yeah, you pretty much don't even have time to rest on your laurels as champion. People are already going to be coming after you.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one, that's for sure.
How do you feel about London next year?
I'm really keen, actually. I think it's gonna be cool. I sort of wish the EUIC was in London instead.
Okay.
But that's fine. I mean, I enjoy going to America a lot, so I do like Worlds there, but I think it's going to be cool to have a change of place. So.
Sure. And I mean, you're world champion. You've got a full year to defend that title. I'm assuming
Yeah,
you're going to be going for that top 8 again in Oceania.
yeah, man. Well, let's see. I keep being the first Australian to do things, so I'm gonna have to be the first one to win Oceania.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's gonna be rough, hey. So
you just got to go for it, right?
I'll try my best. But I know that you have big plans this season, so I might have to try and compete with you for that one.
Yeah, I don't want to let you beat me again this time.
Yeah, right.
I remember, dude. You and I were playing, and I was like, "Who is this kid?" And now you're the world champ.
I think everyone was a bit like that. Yeah.
But you stuck to your guns. You always like some weird crap, and here you are.
Yep, that's it.
Well, thank you so much for being on here, dude. I'll leave the shout out. The floor is yours. Whatever you want to say is
All right.
yours.
Obviously, shout out to the guys I test with, Joao, Stefan, but shout out to all the Australians and anyone else who cheered me on through the weekend. Uh, Shout out, I'll link my Twitter. It's at Benry Brand. Go check me out. If you are interested in any coaching or anything, I'm going to try to start doing that, so let me know. And I'll actually be doing a celebration stream shortly.
Yeah, this will probably be uploaded in like 20-ish minutes from this, so
All
your
right.
stream will probably be up.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
good.
yeah, check out Henry. He's a lovely guy. He's a great human being. He has some crazy ideas, and I mean, show him some love. He is our world champion.
Thanks,
And
Rahul.
thank you so much, Henry.